Okay. Hello, good morning. So I'm super pumped today. I figured out what we're gonna do about the thing. Um, just to put you. Oh, what's happening here? Hey, clear page. So yesterday we used Mastra as kind of a CodeSandbox template, and the idea is to explore how we can make a dev box in and of itself something you can prompt, right? Especially using the SDK. So CodeSandbox has this SDK that you can use to actually like create sandboxes. We're calling it sandbox. DevBox means the same. Let's call it sandboxes. So these are sandboxes that runs on the VM. So you can use this SDK to actually interact with the development environment itself. But what we're building is a sandbox that runs Mastra under the hood. So you can actually, in the SDK, you could create like a sandbox, and then you could say sandbox.prompt, and you could ask it to do something. That's kind of the experience we're heading for here. And we're also exploring like product ideas on top of that, because I have another proof of concept I realized yesterday. It's like, oh, OMG, this is just perfect. But for some reason, this tab is completely broken. The thing we left with yesterday was how are we going to deal with, because we had this CodeRag tool, which is also a project I built in the beginning, like when AI started taking off, but it was too expensive. And basically what it is that it creates a conceptual tree of the code. So it's not embedding actual code, it's embedding summaries of code and folders, which is how we think about our files and folders. Like we look at this, we explore this like a file explorer, and we look at the names of the files and folders, and with experience with the code base, we have this conceptual understanding of what's inside it. And that's what that's what CodeRag does. It creates that conceptual understanding of the file system, kinda. But I did have an issue, and that was keeping things up to date. And let's see, I did make some changes here. Let's see. Where is it? Where did I do this? I made some changes to the code. Didn't I do it on my laptop? Okay, now I am, or did I do it here? Is this where I did it? Create directory document. Oh yeah, this is where I did it, sorry. Okay, you know what? We can actually finish it here. So, let's see, I have my 80s playlist on. It might be a little bit too intense. So let's see here. I'm just gonna close some things down. And I think we'll do without AI here. Okay, fine. So what we're gonna do is when we are firing up this thing, we check the collection, and if the collection doesn't exist, we start running this logic here. And then we have like Shokidar. Here it is. And then when we instantiate it, we create a file watcher, which is going to keep things up to date. But first, we're not going to do this traverse tree thing, because this files to embed is just an array of all the paths that we want to embed. So we're just gonna go through that list, and we're gonna like create documents out of it. But as we're doing that, we're also gonna populate this set directories. So when we're done creating all the documents, we're going to create summaries for all the folders, and we're going to store the summary on the document itself. So let's see here. Directories will be a new set of string, and we're just going to go through. Oh, interesting. Well, I think we can use, aren't we using the path? Yeah, I think that's better. Directories add, yeah, like that. That was a weird suggestion. And then we're actually gonna, yeah, this is also interesting because I was creating this serial queue. But you know, we're still gonna do that. So we're gonna create file document, but we're not gonna await it, because what it does is that it uses, oh wait, we do have to await it. Do we? Yeah, we have to, because we have to get all the summaries for all the files before we can create summaries for folders. Okay, so we're gonna simplify it a little bit. We're gonna await create file document, and we're not gonna use our serial queue. The thing is, like, you can create summaries in parallel, right? But there's rate limiting issues that you have to think about as well. So I'm just simplifying it and just doing it like serially, if that's even a word. Yeah, or we could like use that queue, and then do I have like a way to wait for the queue? Await queue on state change. On state change. Do I have that? Oops. What is this? Yeah, running idle. Okay, so I could wait for it to be idle. Yeah, we're gonna do that because I want to kind of keep this idea that we're just shoving things into a queue, and then based on the rate limit, we can like choose how many we're gonna handle in parallel, which means it isn't a serial queue anymore, but at least it's a queue. Is there a way? How does this thing work? Oh, here's the queue. And I remove the thing from the queue, right? So what we can do is that we can have return promise. Yeah, like, yeah. So what we can do, this is a simplified version. We just keep a reference to the last promise. And when that's done, it's all done. I don't quite like that. I don't want to get stuck in this implementation. You know what? We're going to simplify it. We're just gonna, let's drop the queue. Let's just drop it. And then we're not going to do this. We're just going to await this thing, but when it actually adds the document, we're going to add the directory path as well. So let's see, when we create, you'll have to excuse me here. So we have file path, const directory, file path. Let's say directory path. Look at me not using uppercase. Let's just call it directory. And then we're gonna add directory to it. And we're gonna do this so that we Okay, I think this is a bot. Is it? Forgot to carry the one from the looks of it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. So I also changed how we identify what files to embed. I'm actually just looking at the length of the file. But there are, like, I was reflecting on, like, how do you actually know what to embed from files? Like, how do we know what is interesting to us in terms of content, as opposed to just looking at the file name? So images, base64 or binary files, right? And how do you, like, identify that? Like, that's one thing, but there's also a lot of text files that you're not interested in, like base64. Binary is one thing. But string files, there's a lot of them, and like minified files, for example. You don't really want a summary of that. I sometimes, like, I often read comments. I often read comments out of context, so I don't like. So when you're joking with me, I often don't catch it because it's out of context for me. So it might be just latency and not a bad joke. Sorry. It was just. It was like you were trader and then carry the one, and I was. Wait, is this like, yeah? Oh, that's too funny. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, but it's very interesting. Like, how do you, based on the contents of the file, do you determine if there's a valuable concept in there or not? Let's see. But that doesn't matter now. We're doing something relatively simple. Okay, so we're creating the file documents, and then when we're done creating the file documents, we're gonna go through it's calling it directory path. I'm gonna call it directory path. I can't help myself. It is more explicit. Look at this. It understood beautifully what I wanted. Path. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Of course, it can just use the existing files to embed. Yeah. Exactly. But what? Wait, it doesn't have to do this. Oh, sorry. Oh, one thing we forgot to do. Yeah, sure, thanks. Have a nice day. We're also gonna actually add the summary here. There we go. And then, yeah, it's interesting. Oh, but we can actually... Oh, so we have the metadata in there. Okay. Oh, text? Oh, interesting. Does it do this on its own? Oh, sorry. Okay, so we can still grab... Oh, so it has the text. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, and this is really annoying. Like, this find thing. Like, it's... Of course, it's true that it might not find it, but if it doesn't find it, there's a really bad thing happening. So if no document, throw new error. So we should be able to do this. Okay, so then we have summaries, directory path. We're gonna remove, gonna return the summary. We're gonna add the directory path here. Oh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we're gonna change this. Yeah. No, wait a minute. What does this mean? So if a directory has, I think we need to change this, because this doesn't make any sense. We're gonna call it parent directory path. Yeah, and we're gonna call it, parent path and path. Yeah, I think we have to do it like that, because parent path would be a directory. Well, let's just call it parent path and then path. Ah, but now we're calling this thing up here path. That's the annoying thing about this path tool. It's so, what do we actually need here? We need join relative. This is annoying stuff. Let's see, relative join parent path. Yeah, we need dir name as well. Let's see, we don't need this anymore. Let's just remove the traverse tree thing. Yeah, so this is going to be way more fun shortly, but we just have to get this thing going. Where did I add that traverse? Ah, interesting. Oh, it was a file. Let's see. Okay, so we have parent path, and summaries. And we need to do the same here. Parent path. Parent path. And then that will be path. Yeah, look at that, I even call it path here. Yeah, this is gonna be more consistent. Didn't I add their name? Cool. So now we need to pass in. Let's see, files to embed. I don't think we need to do this. I don't like how this works. So we're gonna go through each directory. We're gonna find all the files for it. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't like this. So we're gonna do parent path equals their name directory path. And then we're gonna pass parent path. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through metadata parent path. And if that is directory path. But we're gonna find, is it find all? No, how do you do it? Oh, it's filter, of course. Documents. So now we have the documents. We're gonna map. Oh, sorry. Matching documents. I think one thing we're not considering here is the order of directories, because we actually need to sort them. Yeah. So, oh, summaries. Okay, so that's the summaries, but we have to be careful about the order here, because we need to look at the like nested folders first. While here, we don't really have that guarantee. So I think we actually have to create an array here, string array, and then we're going to sort it by. So if push, and then we need to sort it. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Does this sort from... does this sort so that the shortest directory is first in the list? If A is shorter, so A comes before B in the... okay, I want the opposite. We need to take the longest directory first. Most nested directory first. Okay, and then we create the directory document, and then we shove in all the documents. This is exactly what we want. And what we can do now is on the listener, we can just go and look at what's changed and find the document in the vector store. And it's all good. Now there is a limitation here, and that is we're grabbing like all the file paths when we fire up here. So if you have like tens of thousands of files, it's probably gonna be like, it shouldn't break, like it's not that much, but it's going to be super slow, right? But the point is, the thing we don't really realize about indexing code, like embedding code for AI agents to reason about your code base, is that you're typically doing this locally. So every developer actually has their local index that needs to be kept up to date. And not only that, you're like changing branches all the time, right? So it's constantly having to update. So it's very hard to keep that index up to date. As opposed to putting it on CodeSandbox, because we're going to have a protected main branch on CodeSandbox, which is like the current state of your code and your index. And whenever you're going to do something, you're going to fork the whole environment, including the index and the file system, and even like the memory, so that any dev server running, you'll go straight into it, but it's a completely new environment. So, and it's locked to a branch. So that you can only operate within that branch, because each branch has its own URL and environment. So the changes to the files there are actually minimal, and it's tied to the memory of the conversation you're having with the agent. So we don't have to keep that index constantly up to date. We can do it whenever you change head, for example, like you make a commit or you merge or rebase or whatever. So it's going to be exceptionally efficient compared to doing this stuff locally. And I'm very curious, like I don't have any academic background, so I don't know how, like I think it would make sense to write a paper on like a conceptual file tree for LLMs to reason about code bases. But I wouldn't even know where to start and how to like test it or anything. It's just an intuition that it makes sense, because it's how we humans reason about code. Okay, cool. So now I think we have what we need. So we're able to build up this index again. The thing we're missing is the changes. So when we built up the initial store now, vector store, we're going to watch for changes. And then we're ignoring, I wonder if this actually works. And then whenever we add a file, we don't need to check this. So I think we can do like, Yeah, by the way, we're gonna move these things. Let's see, I'm just gonna check how I create. So, yeah, I think we should rather return the document here. Let's see. Create file document. Okay, we're gonna try this one first. We're gonna put this here. And we're gonna return the document. Oh, get summary. We need to be able to use this. Wait, where did get summary come from? Oh, here it is. Yeah, but we can use, yeah, that's fine. We can move that one outside as well. Let's see here. Oh, we need that. Oh, this is interesting. So we need workspace path, parent path, and path. And you could argue, of course, we find the parent path from the path. Oh, yeah, maybe we should do that. Hva er det? Nei, vi har ikke TV2. So parent path will be their name path, like so. And we can still do get summary, create document. Wait, create file document. So this would be, then we can say documents push document. Cool. That's how we're gonna do it. And then this is gonna be workspace path instead. And we're gonna do the same here. Documents push document. And then we're gonna pass the workspace path. And we're gonna move view as well. Boop. Let's see, up here. Workspace path. And we're gonna return document. Oh, interesting. Why does this one need workspace path, absolute path? Oh, it's to read the actual file. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. We need the absolute path. Okay, cool. But we actually don't need that here. So we can just do this and then their name path. So we don't actually pass workspace path here. We don't need it. Okay, cool. So now that's fine. So that means that we should now be able to do document equals. Yeah, so what we talked about here is that we don't actually act on all changes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna batch up these changes and we're gonna flush it. So we're gonna just do a debounce for that flush now. Like a debounce of, I don't know, like 10 seconds or something, or even like 15 or whatever. Sorry. But that flush is later going to be based on the change of the head. So let's see if we can just implement that here. So this would be, I guess, changes. Yeah, so we need added, changed, unlink. How should we express this? We don't really care if it's added or changed. But we do care if it's deleted. You know what? Yeah, changes. Let's just do it. Added, changed, unlinked. These are a string. It's just so we're gonna change this, added, push file path. So we're just keeping track of this. Yeah, and we should have the relative path actually. Relative path. This will be unlinked relative path. Let's remove this and remove this. And I think I made a mistake and changed. Cool. So that's all we're doing here. And each of them should also flush. Flush, flush. But this flush is going to be a debounce. npm code agent npm install lodash debounce. Is that the thing? It is. Import debounce from lodash debounce. Oh, and it's not typed. What's the other one? It's a long time since I installed this. npm install. What's the other one? Not lodash, but what is I need a debounce for TypeScript. What is the name of that? Oh, yeah, it's underscore, but isn't lodash typed? That is typed. You have an yeah. TSD bounds. Yeah, it just amazes me that they don't implement lodash in TypeScript. Like, unless I'm misunderstanding something here, it just blows my mind. So this is going to be our debouncer, and we're going to wait like 15 seconds or something. Flushing. Flushing. So I wonder. Yeah. How does Shukidar handle files being moved? What watch events do I get? Yeah, unlink add. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna flush, and the way we're gonna flush is, sorry, we're gonna changed would be changes.added, changes.changed. So we're gonna make a copy out of these. Yeah, that will be a copy. And then we're just gonna reset changes. I don't like this. Changed. Oh. Yeah, let's just do this. Unlinked. So we're just going to reset that. And then we're going to go through again for changed. I think we can do insert. Oh, you know what? We're going to create documents again. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to do const documents equals. What's the type for this? Is it document? I think so. Documents push. This is async. So this is a quite brute implementation. There's lots of stuff you really need to take care of here, but and I wonder, does it? So these documents should override the other document, the existing document. How do I ensure it does not create a new document in the vector store? Do I need to first find the existing document? Yeah, but like I can't use the file path as the ID. That's the problem. Okay, so I have a feeling I actually need to find the document. But it's interesting. I'm gonna, because I used to do that. I created my own ID, but Quadrant doesn't accept file paths. Like it's just a format. How can I manipulate a file path to be a valid UUID in terms of character of valid characters? It's like hash-based UUID, for example, Python's built in. Which take a namespace and string. We have this for TypeScript as well. That simplifies it a lot. Use similar approach by leveraging UUID. Okay, npm install UUID. Path. Normalize. Okay, I guess we can do that. Okay, this is interesting. We're gonna try this. So import from UUID. What was it? UUID v5? Oh, what was it? Oh, v5. So when we create document, create file document. Oh, come on. I believe I used ID. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna do, yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. This is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna do the same for the create directory document. Because these are unique, right? And path. Okay, cool. So now we're ensuring that whenever we do this flush thing, that we actually can safely just push it to this array and shove it into the database. So this would be this dot index insert nodes documents. But we also need to remove some things. So yeah, so we need to do a few things. We need to, first we're creating new summaries for, yeah, but we need, and this is a tricky one because we don't only need to create summaries for the directories. We have to make sure that we go up the tree. This is so much work. But at least we have the fundamental functionality of this. It's really, really important because you can't really iterate on anything if you don't have an up-to-date index. So we have to fix this first. So the next thing we need to do is, well, basically go and remove any files. So let's do that. Oh, interesting. Why does it think I want to create a new document? I actually want to delete refdoc. I guess so. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. Delete refdoc. There you go. I guess true. So we're deleting any documents. And what we need to do now is recreate a summary of each directory. And you have to keep in mind that this is like, this happens exceptionally fast, and also it's unlikely that you are like deleting You know what? I wonder if it would, maybe it's not that important to create. Like, one thing is a directory summarizing its contents. I think that's important. But I'm not sure if it's that important that a parent directory summarizes its, well, yeah, no, we're gonna do this. It's the most correct thing. So you might have a folder that's just a bunch of folders, right? And having the conceptual understanding of what that folder is based on what's inside the nested folders, that's important for an AI. So to be able to understand if it should add another folder to there. Anyways, so we need to figure out what directories we have to rewrite the summary for. And to do that, we need to, like previously we could just like add the directories, right? Because we literally went through all directories because we had all the initial files. But now we don't necessarily have that. We need to kind of is it called extrapolate from the file paths we have, what directories we need to create summaries for. Okay, so directories. Could you base on all, let's see. Okay, no. Could you, based on all change and unlinked file paths, figure out all directories affected, including parent directories up to the root, only with unique directories and array should only contain unique directories ordered by deepest directory first. Let's see. Current there is not equal to dot. Okay. Affected directory is set. Oh, interesting. Oh, this, yeah, it needs to be this. I wonder if I can just reuse this. I think this is better. Just go through all the file paths and find the directories so we can reuse this logic. So we're going to put this in utils and we're just going to call it export get directories from file paths. So we have dir name. This is also something I'm very confused about. Like, why do we have node prefix here? And then we're gonna do return. Okay, so this is how we get all the the directories. So we're gonna say const directories equals get directories changed concat unlinked. Nice. And then we're gonna do the same down here. We're not gonna push anything here. I'm not even gonna do this. We're rather gonna say const directories files to embed. There we go. This is much better. Yes, cool. Now we have that in place. We're getting close now. Let's see, where were we? Okay, so now we have the directories, and what we want to do is it's very interesting. So we want to, yeah, we want to go through, oh, not documents. We want to go through the actual index. So this is the tricky thing now, is that we actually have to go through the index. How do I actually get doc store? Yeah. How do I actually get nodes? Node IDs. So this needs to get documents from the index that matches on the metadata. The index instead of the documents array. Yeah, no idea how I query that. Do you do anything? Still thinking? Yeah. Yeah, so the thing we're gonna do, so currently this Debouncing has like a Vite starter in it, but we're actually gonna, I have this other proof of concept of like a multi-tenant solution to allow people to build applications that has authentication, persistence, and storage out of the box. Because that's a huge, like if you do anything on like services like Bolt or anything, you have to go and set up like persistence and authentication and everything. You can't just like create an actual app, right? You can just create proof of concepts. Or you have to be knowledgeable to actually go and set up these other things. And maybe, wow, it had a hard time with this. Why? Anyways, so I have this like multi-tenant proof of concept for Firebase, where it's actually quite done. Like what we're gonna do is like when you create a project in that service, we're just gonna use the CodeSandbox SDK to create a sandbox from this template of like what we have here. And then we're just gonna show the URL to the Mastra chat thing. And then the preview, link to the preview, and then you're kind of off to the races. But of course, that full service would actually have its own chat interface. But that's enough for a proof of concept. But how do I index get? Yeah. How do I get? Or can I say this dot vector store get? Yeah, I probably need this one. Query? No, this is like actual query. Oh, that's not what we want. We want to get the actual documents. Client? Create. Delete. Maybe I need to get the collection. Get collection, and that will be this index.collection. Wasn't that wait, now I'm very confused. Wasn't that how did I get the collection? From vector store. Oh, vector store collection name. Oh, okay, yeah, because this is an abstraction. Collection name. Ugh. Collection. Oh. Let's see. How do I get all documents in a quadrant vector store in TypeScript that matches a certain metadata? But I wonder if it even has a text there. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's actually this. Okay. Docs. So metadata filter. What is a metadata filter? Yeah. File path. Or path. Or sorry, parent path is directory path. So that wasn't true. That's not true. Oh, filters. Ugh. Oh, what are filters? Tell me, please. Metadata. Metadata filter. So it's filters again? Oh, help me. Thank you. Ah. So what does this actually... I have no idea what I'm doing. This isn't true. Damn it. As retriever? I have no idea what I'm doing. Retrieve? Query? Oh, this is an actual... for fuck's sake. How can I use llama index to query documents by metadata? In TypeScript. It's kind of annoying that you can't like just set your language in ChatGPT. I don't really care about Python. I started reading about Python at some point. It's a nice language. Yeah, whatever. But how do I actually... what if I just want all documents by a specific metadata? Hi, Damien. Henry approved what? What if I just want all documents by a specific metadata? Metadata. I pass an empty string. This seems weird to me. I just want documents based on a specific metadata field. Your query so that answer means don't filter by text, and then your metadata filter. Okay, we're gonna try this. How did... Oh. Where's the TypeScript one? What the hell is this? Retrieve query empty string. Ugh. That doesn't work. This index, can I just query it? Oh, well, I guess as query engine. Yeah, as query engine. Like this is a never used query. No. Query type? No. How the fuck do I do this? Where's this query coming from? This.documents. Ah, why is this so difficult? This.index. I just want the documents. Docs? Get nodes? But this is by ID. Like I don't... The fuck? Why is this so difficult? Query. This is weird to me. Like when I do this? Parent path. Like I guess I could do that, but this seems very weird. Okay, let's try to actually look at the documentation. Like I find this hard to use as well. Llama, like I can't even find the Llama index. I can't even find the TypeScript documentation. Come off. Okay, I'm starting to get pissed off. TypeScript docs. get started, guide, loading data, documents and nodes. Yeah, but that's not what I want. I want to query. It's not the best documentation. But maybe I shouldn't use, this is the thing I'm curious about. Maybe I shouldn't be using, I should probably be using the actual vector store. What if I do query here? Yeah, I guess I have to use this. Yeah, because there's no query string, so I can probably do filters. But I find it funny that you have like an array of filters. And why is this wrong now? It's missing the following mode. What's a mode? Mode. What's mode? Vector store query mode. Oh. What the fuck is that? I just won't. Why can't it do it based on metadata? I guess. The one? Something like this? Do I really have to query it doing this? And then docs, like what does it actually, yeah, and what I don't understand here is like, because the index has this thing called text, right? I can't believe I'm stuck on this. I don't understand how we're gonna do this. Because this dot index, if I do like get doc store get document, so some document, right? And this doc has whatever metadata. Oh, it doesn't have text. Like, where the fuck is the text? Is that get content? I have no idea what I'm doing. Metadata mode? What's metadata mode? Oh, for fuck's sake. This pisses me off. Why is this so difficult? I don't know if it actually, like, I guess get content. We have to test this. And what is this thing? Is that the mode? No, that's query mode. What the hell is metadata mode? Okay, so this returns at least a string. Map to... I guess so? Like, we just have to try this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, this is weird, but let's just do this for now and let's test it. That was so annoying. We were at such on a roll. Okay, but I think we have it here now. We're debouncing this thing, running through it. So now we can, okay, so we can actually test it now. So, oh, that was rough. That was super rough. Let's see. So let's just clear out the vectors. We can push this first, and then we can continue in the actual environment. Git commit code rag updates. Cool. So we're gonna jump into this thing again. And is this why does it just stops working in Safari? It's very weird. It's so sad that Safari is such a bad browser. Could have been amazing. Could have been amazing. Git pull. And we need to npm install. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna clear the vector store, and then we're gonna see if we can get this thing running. So it's resolving, building up the index. That's nice. It's really cool to, like, that's one of the most fun things to do with AI is just looking at what it's, when it's reasoning, right? With a new feature of reasoning on how to actually deal with prompts, that's very interesting. But also here, it's reasoning about the file system, which is very, very cool. Okay, so now we have the thing running. So let's see. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's something else. Here we go, Master Playground. So we have our, I think I did a demo yesterday. Oh, I'm not running the app, am I? So let's do project npm run dev. Oh, run dev. Why am I not seeing anything? What's happening here? Is it Safari? Amazing! Like, Safari is so shit. Oh. Okay. Anyways, we have our app. Count is 10. So we're gonna ask it to change the count to 15. Okay. And then we're going to see if it actually updates the index. Cool. Could you change the count to the initial count to 15? I wonder why it's so slow. Like, we're not streaming, so that's part of it. Like, there's this fake feeling of slowness. So it changed it to 15. But it didn't do anything. Did it? No, here it asked. Oh, the index didn't update. Why didn't it update? Shukidar. We didn't get anything. Okay, let's log a little bit. Watching. And what is it watching? Watch path. Okay, and then console.log guts change. And we're also going to look at the ignore thing. Ignored. Ignored. Cool. And I'm just going to change the code back so it reflects the actual truth. Because now the index... Wait, why does it run the index again? That's weird. It shouldn't run the index again. Watching. But why did it run the... Okay, I'm just going to start it again just to see what's happening here. And let's change this to 10. Hey, why does it do this? This worked last time. Oh, sorry. Of course, I'm deleting the index every time. My bad. That's my bad. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to remove this. And we're going to remove this so that we can run it again. And then I'm going to just make a file change directly here just to test it. Okay, so we are watching the project for any change. And if I do boop, nothing happened. So why didn't anything happen? Let's remove ignored, I guess. Oh, this is gonna potentially... I think it's fine. npm shukidar. I wonder how the ignored list is gonna... Ignored. Ignored. Regex or path. I'm not sure if, like, it should be regex. Function regex or path. I think that's what's wrong. Oh. Get ignore globes. Let's see, just string arrays of to be compatible with Watcher. Did I actually create a utility for that? No. Let's see what it says. Shooter accepts an ignored option as either a globe pattern, an array of globes, might not match the path in the way you expect when passing. One common solution is to convert these globes into a function that tests each file path. The globe matching library, like minimatch. Okay, let's do that then. Git ignore file paths string ignored is ignored. Minimatch. How did I use minimatch? Import minimatch. Is not callable. Thank you for that. Cool. Okay, let's try this. Isn't it watching? Was already imported. What does that mean? Oh my god, I can't deal with this now. I can't deal with this. Llama index was already imported? Why? It's such a weird, like, why do they build things in a way that makes, like, import? There's nothing. It's kind of scary that it says this breaks constructor checks and will lead to issues. Like, but I don't have anything here like double importing Llama index. Is it because it's being imported by Mastra as well, maybe? I can't deal with this. We were gonna have fun today, and now we get these weird, shitty issues. And why the hell isn't it showing that we're watching? Did I remove that? Oh yeah, I removed that. Llama index was already imported. But that's the whole point of importing. Does it mean that there's two different versions of Llama index? Like, does Mastra have a dependency to Llama index? But that... I can't deal with this. The module has been imported more. Of course you can import a module more than once. That's the whole point of modules. Was it always like this? Check your import order. Like, does this matter? I can't believe we're gonna sit here and... Fuck. I can't deal with this. I just can't deal with this. Like that, like import order shouldn't matter. Oh, wait a minute. Is it because of... Oh, it could be... No, it's not. And it says it twice. Is it because I'm calling... That shouldn't matter. What are we gonna do about this? I am using TypeScript. What the hell? I should be able to import npm packages. Multiple times. Is that not the whole point of modules? You cannot seriously... This was the whole problem with React as well. You cannot seriously introduce a side effect by share. Oh, how do you express that? Just importing something. This one is is implemented rather than... Yeah, I know that. Cached after the first or subsequent. single instance for its internal set. And if that's true, why doesn't it just return that? I have a feeling this maybe Mastra is using a different version of Llama Index. That's the only thing I can imagine. But we're gonna ignore this for now, because it just pisses me off. And then we're gonna try to change the code there. Ah! Why isn't the watcher working? Where is it? Watcher. Gots change. Project workspace, project. Persistent, what does that mean? Watch file dir or array. So what's the how do you actually express the watch? Should it be the way I put it? Why don't they have that in the example? Should it have like glob thing? Please give me an example. Yeah. Version 4? Oh, directory. Okay. So maybe that's the issue then. So it shouldn't be watch path. Where is the watch path? Yeah. So workspace path. Okay. What about now? It's not working. Why isn't my file watcher working? What did I do? Let's remove ignore. See if that's causing it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the git ignore globes. So why does it match on that? Pattern. I wonder which one is matching on. So we're saying is ignored if any of these match, right? Okay, we just have to take a look at this. What the hell is happening? I'm getting, my motivation is running out. This sucks. console.log, what the fuck, result. And I guess that's like true, but we have to change the music. I can't take any more 80s. So if I make a change here to, why did it say true, by the way? Oh, is it because it's like ignoring the watch path? Okay, let's see. Let's see if we do this. That's interesting. Like it's running the ignore path on the. What? How can it match? Okay, so we're just gonna do map, and then result sum true, sum. That's super weird. It's ignoring. Which one is true? That one is true. Which one is that from back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's the negating ones. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay, now I see. Okay. Okay, did we have it here? Nice. How would I deal with negating git ignores? Hopefully it just understands it. Things you have to deal with. Use the ignore package, which is with git ignore syntax supports negation out of. Oh. Okay, let's do that then. Let's remove minimatch. Minimatch. Away with you. npm install ignore. And then we have const ig. Ignore. Of course, that doesn't. Oh, ignore. Ingor. That's weird. So that's ignore. And then the last piece of this was. All right, let's try again. You're kidding me. Should be a. Why? Okay, so I think I just need to. I have no idea why it passes the actual watched path. I find that very, very weird. Okay, so I guess we relative okay, 2 seconds. So this would be okay. So it needs to be relative to this workspace path. Oh, did I? Oh, it still failed. Path must not be empty. Or dot? Oh, okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Path must not. For fuck's sake. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. If file path equals this dot workspace path false, or we're gonna just do, because it's gonna be relative. It's so weird that they pass in the watch directory. Like, why would you ever ignore the thing you're what the fuck? Okay. Ignores relative. Is it there? I can't see it. Oh, look at me. Are you okay now? There we go. Let's try again. 10. Gods change. 15 seconds should pass. And it should update the index. Flushing. Resolve file. That's weird. Why does it? Oh, did I have wrong logic here? Let's see. Flush. No query embedding provided. So when we're flushing, I'm okay. Flushing. Let's see. Flushing changed and linked. That's fine. And then we're going to, oh yeah, and then we're, yeah, this is weird. We're going through the directories. Console.log, updating directories. Why did it resolve the files again? That's weird. Okay, let's see what happens now. So we're doing boop, gods change, wait 15 seconds. That's probably a bit too long. I can change that to 5 seconds. Oh, look at that. Why? Why are all these changes in there? I had one got change. Got change. Who? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? Oh, sorry. Sorry. So, of course, because we're just looking at changed, but I have a feeling. Oh, is that ignore initial? What's ignore initial? Ignore initial. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do ignore initial. Yeah, because it's doing added. But we don't care about when it discovers the files. We just care about all the events after that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so we could also store like the change timestamp. Oops. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna fire it up without the temp. Just clean it out again, and then we're gonna try again. I wonder how much money I'm burning with this. Cool. So now I believe if we change this to 10, let's change. Yeah, let's change the thing to 5 seconds. Yeah, flashing. No query embedding provided. Oh, it didn't actually match, I think. Ah, fuck, we still have an issue. So when we flush updating directories, I don't think we actually have any docs here. So this is source. Got matching docs. Docs.length. Well, I guess we can look at them. Well, docs.length. For frick's sake. I wonder, where does it throw? Oh, yeah, we can't really see it that well, can we? Oh, it's on the actual query. Interesting. What did it say? No embedding. No query embedding provided. Query embedding. We're still back at how do I query my I am trying to do this with a quadrant, but I am getting I am just trying to retrieve the documents that matches the parent path. How can I achieve that? Oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Why is this so difficult? It's so weird that there isn't an API for this. Check if quadrant, why can't you do it? Can you check if quadrant supports filtering only on metadata? Huh. I thought you could go on the internet. Could you search the internet for an answer? Yeah, it doesn't, maybe that's a bug. Ah, scroll API. I don't have a scroll API. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Must key value. Retrieves points from the... Why am I getting an error? Oh, but it's a string here. Oh, collection name. This dot vector store. Collection name. There we go. Nice. Okay. But these are points. I don't want points. But I need the text of the document. How can I retrieve that? That's interesting. Like 04 is better at... Okay, this is interesting. Point.payload.text. Interesting. Points payload. Interesting. I wonder if it already has it. So let's take a look. Points. New error. Not fake. Okay. It's running. Let's change it. Yeah, I don't know anything about vector stores or So does it have the text? No, it doesn't. Yeah, does it? Path, type file. No, it doesn't actually have the... Well, it kind of has it, right? File. Source assets. Oh, this is interesting. We also need to check that it's an actual file. Key type match value file. Cool. But it's interesting because it kind of has the contents, right? I guess I could like parse. Is it valid JSON? What is the type directory? But then it's like, oh yeah, it has a text there. Text. Yeah, it has a text. So I actually have to parse. I guess that's faster, right? I can just pass. Okay, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do summaries is result.points. This was way worse than I thought. Point dot payload JSON.parse point dot payload dot node content dot text. Yeah, a string. Yeah, this is interesting. Like the text is in there. Like I could, I guess, attach the text as is. Maybe that is actually better. But still, like the node content also has it, which is kind of annoying. Like, what's faster? Well, it is faster to just read the text, of course. But does it like blow up the... And it doesn't blow up the database. That's for sure. They're very short. Okay, we're gonna add point payload text as string. Okay, so first of all, we need to clear out the thing again. And then we are going to create file document. So text will be summary. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then we're going to do create directory. We're going to do text summary. Cool. Let's fire it up again. And after it's done, let's remove this temp thing again. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This took a long time. But as I said, this is important. So what we're going to do next, when we have this kind of running, we are going to move over my Firebase project instead. And I think we're gonna, yeah, we're just gonna move over the Firebase project. And then we're not gonna deal with this dashboard I talked about. We're just gonna fork it. And then well, we don't really need to fork it either. We could just try to build something. Sorry. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's see if it actually works then. So 10 gods change. Flushing the file. So result directory. Result file. Updating directories, and it updated that directory. Nice, it worked. Great stuff. I guess we can move some console. Flushing, that's nice to have. Updating the, yeah, we don't need this one. Okay. Oh, that was rough. That was super rough. We're gonna go in here. Let's just stop this one. Code rag updating. Cool. So let's look at the actual project. And we, do I have the thing here? Let's see. Tool builder. Did I actually put the? I can't remember if I actually put the. No, I didn't put it inside here. Where did I put the actual? Is that in a different? I think I put it in a different dev box. Reverend Flower. I think it's this one. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, here it is. Okay, how are we gonna do this? So I think we're actually gonna download this and we're gonna update this locally. So let's see if we can download the thing. Download Debouncing. Allow. Let's see. Does it like, how do I show? Yeah, I think it's fine. So we're gonna take the package JSON. We're gonna take, wait, doesn't it have? No, I think I have inline everything. Okay, so we're gonna take the package JSON and the source directory. I'm gonna try to update that in here. Yeah. Package copy. God damn. So let's delete this one. Package JSON. And then let's delete that one and then rename this to source. And this actually has some stuff in it. So it has this auth context. which basically sets up the user with claims. And handles like sign in and sign out. So do we actually have auth context type? Yeah, and it has to have a tenant ID. Maybe we could review this. So this is how the tenant stuff works. We need to have, we can do tenant ID. Well, tenant ID is actually project ID. I'm not sure why I have project ID in here. Yeah, let's just call it that. And then, wow, there's, I hate React. So we don't want this thing. Like, we're gonna change this. We're gonna give it a proper, and you know what? We're not gonna do the context here. We're actually gonna use of get functions. Thinking. So we have Firebase here. So yeah, so what I'm thinking is, okay, we need to set up, like, the point is that this service uses Firebase to provide authentication, persistence, and storage out of the box. So you literally don't have to set up anything. And then it gives you a dev box to develop your tool using an agent. So part of that dev box is Mastra. It's a code rag, and then it's the actual like template for the tool. And that template is just a Vite application using React, and we just need to have authentication in there. And the question is like how to best provide that. So what I'm thinking is maybe we should just globally have a user there so that React can just subscribe. The problem with React is that like we should pass it, like we shouldn't even render the app until you how should we do this? How should we do this? Like the code is gonna look shitty if, because we need, like, for any kind of persistence or anything, we really need to access the tenant ID, because there's a combination of the tenant ID and the user ID that is gonna be your personal persistence. And then tenant ID is really tied to the project. Let's see, I'm just gonna project. So how are we gonna do this? I don't want to provide it through a context because then the generated code will be so shitty. Like use auth. Well, what does use auth do? Yeah, it just gives the, like it just gives this context type where you might have a user, might not have a user. And you might have a tenant ID or you might not have a tenant ID. So it's like every time that context is used, it's gonna check, like, do you actually have a user? Do you actually have a tenant ID? But the whole point is that you have to be signed in to use any of these tools. That's the whole point. But you know, maybe that we shouldn't mess around with this for now. Yeah, but project ID isn't one of the things. Did I add project ID? Let me see. Oh. Come on. Tool builder. That's the thing I was looking for. Project ID. Yeah, we are setting the project ID. What's project ID? Okay. I would state that project ID is tenant ID. Yeah, because I didn't think about this. Like when you create a project, what's actually happening is that it creates a sandbox, and that sandbox ID is really the ID of your project. But okay, we can have both of them, I guess. Does that need to be on the claim? I'm just thinking about rules here. So for example here, so we would grab the tenant ID from the claim of the user and use that. Okay, let's just keep the project ID for now. Oh my god, I'm so this whole Shokidar file watching thing completely drained me. But I think this is fine. So we'll push this project. Let's see. Oh, this is CodeRank, sorry. We're just gonna push this project and apps. Yeah, so we can remove some stuff here. Delete app CSS. Delete assets. Public. Yeah, we don't need this one. Because this is use. Wait, didn't I add Tailwind? I thought I added Tailwind. We're gonna add Tailwind. Yeah, let's do that. Get started. Let's see. And npm install. Tailwind CSS and then import Tailwind CSS. We're going to do that here. And then main has Firebase, imports index CSS. We're happy about that. We have our crazy auth provider with the auth context. And then in our app, we just have the authentication thing. Yeah, and then please sign in to continue. Sign in with Google. Okay, this is fine. So we're gonna, yeah, we're just gonna do one more thing. Could you make this look pretty using a tailwind? Okay, so now we're gonna go to the fun stuff. This took a long time, but we're here. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna push this. We're gonna rebuild the index for the project so that it actually understands the project, and then we're actually gonna try to implement something. So it doesn't have much capabilities. Application memory. 2.7 gigabytes. What the fudge? That's massive. Okay, I trust that this will look good. Add SDKs for Firebase Pro. No, not gonna have analytics. Cool. That's fine. We have the auth context here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna change the instructions of the agent so that it understands how tenant ID and project ID actually works. So that's gonna be interesting. So done. Git status, git add, update project, push. Let's go back to the thingy. Oh, did it disconnect? Oh, did I lose? Okay, we'll figure that out. Let's see. So we're gonna pull here already. Git push. What? You're not already up to date. I know you're not already up to date. Oh, did it pull it? Oh, nice. Sorry. Code agent. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna create if is there some way I can very easily access if process.n rebuild index await format. Why do I have to? Interesting. So if I now do npm rebuild index equals true npm run dev. Will it do it? It did. Okay, so it's rebuilding the index. So now it should have a better understanding. Oh, it had like file too large. Yeah, but that's good. Okay, cool. We're running. Let's see how our app actually looks like. run dev. Oh. Okay. That's fine. Okay, and then we have master playground. We're just gonna go in and oh wait, because now when okay, we're gonna make a change here. Okay, let's close this. Should rebuild index. Oh, wait a minute, this won't work. We can't do this because when it restarts, it says that it's gonna rebuild again. How do I do it like once? Ah, this sucks. Yeah, we kind of have to do it this way. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our actual agent and we're gonna change the instructions. Yeah, and we're gonna make this much better, but that has access to the project. When prompt to make changes, query the code to find relevant files. The project uses Firebase. And any authenticated user has access to has a tenant ID. Has a tenant ID. Whenever you need to create persistence for a user, feel free. Make sure to reference any Firestore collections with oh, look at that. Tenant ID collection has a tenant ID. And do we have an actual user ID in it? So this is going to be the interesting thing. We're actually going to ask it to create some simple app that has persistence and see if we can get that running. So we have a user. So I guess it's user.id. Or is it user.uid? Tenant. Wait, tenant ID? What? The user's tenant ID. This is a read on which indicates the tenant ID used to sign in the user. This is null if the user is signed in from the parent project. Wait. Does Firebase have this? Wait, I'm gonna use for all actually. What is Firebase tenant ID used for? Can you have child projects in Firebase? Firebase doesn't. Oh, how are certain? So isolate data for multiple databases within. Okay, but I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, anyway, sorry, that was diverging. But where is the actual ID? Email verified, metadata, provider data, refresh token, tenant ID, user info, email, UID. Okay. The project uses Firebase, and any authenticated user has and any authenticated session has a tenant ID, and the user has a UID. Whenever you need to create persistence for a user, make sure to reference any Firestore collections with tenant ID collection UID. I'm not sure if I'm gonna tell it. Make sure to with tenant ID collection, and use the UID. Oh, this. Okay, I think there's one thing I haven't thought of. Yeah, maybe this won't work. So if I want to protect, like, you're not allowed to make any rules here, and that's a problem. So we can easily protect data by tenant ID and UID. But what if I want to, for example, create an application that shares some data, and I want to say, maybe I even have like, how would I do that? So let's say you're in a private channel. And yeah. So how would you structure that in Firebase? So you have channels, right? You have a project, you have channels, and then you want to, who has access to that channel? And one way to do that is just have an array of UIDs. Or you can, on the user, like the user channels. How the hell would you do that? Yeah, this probably won't work. Like, you need access to be able to change rules. It's not enough to just protect things behind a tenant ID. That's two generic rules. Damn. It's breaking apart. It's freaking breaking apart. How would I do that? I thought this was a great idea. I'm not sure if it is. Because the way you would handle that in Firebase, I think I'm just exhausted. I need some food. I need lunch. Make sure to reference any Firestore collections with tenant ID collection. That's fine. Like, we can protect all the collections specific to the project. I wonder, like, what's the difference for me between the tenant ID and the project ID? I think we can use project ID. Yeah, let's do that. Project ID as a project ID. and the user has a UID. Whenever you need to, so everything needs to be behind the project ID. And then there's a collection. And then if I want to have, okay, let's just play with it. So what if I want to have project ID profiles, and then I want to do that by UID, right? It's probably possible to create a Firebase rule which says like something like this. So it doesn't matter what's in between there. If it ends with UID, that is owned by that specific user, right? That gives a lot of flexibility. But what if I, for example, want to what if I want to invite someone? I want to tell the agent, hey, I want to have this invite mechanism. You should be able to invite people by email or whatever. Or okay, wait. So yeah, sorry. So you would have profiles, UID, but then you want to say, I want to be able to invite other people. Yeah, like making a proof of concept that doesn't require much skill, but if you're actually gonna create something valuable, you kind of have to be an engineer. I think. Yeah, now that I'm like, you can say, oh, if you just give people authentication, persistence, and storage out of the box, anyone can build anything. But that's not true. That's not true. Because what would happen here is like, okay, so when someone signs in, you should create a profile for them, for example. And that's being put behind the thing, like behind your UID. But you might also say, we should also have project ID users, right? And anyone has access to reading and writing. Or here you can say, yeah, so, well, you could say like, so you have profile UID, right? And that's private. But then you have a public profile, whatever, which is also behind UID. And that's like a public dictionary. So you can invite other people. And then, yeah, maybe this is possible. But the thing is kind of complicated. And then you want to say, okay, project ID. Yeah, like invitations, right? But the point is, the person who invites, like that's just an invitation. It's two different users that needs to interact with the same data, right? So then you would need to have a rule, something like, so invitations would just be like this, but the rule would be inviter needs to be like the UID of the person creating the invitation. Invitee would be the other person, and the inviter has write access, but the invitee has read access. Well, should also have write access, I guess. But the point is that you have two users that needs to access the same data. So would you then have owner consumer, like something generic that you could create a rule around? Okay, so we're gonna play with that. I'm just gonna do it locally because I I'm not sure why we're diving into this. We were gonna play with the agent, but I have like this bigger idea in my head and I can't quite get away from it. Where are the Firestore rules? Hello. What the hell? Where are the Firestore rules? Oh, sorry. That's of course in the other project, the tool project. Because the rules are here. Allow read write if this is interesting. So you're allowed to read and write. Yeah, resource data UID. So the project's project ID. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. So what we would need here is match project's data, project ID, and then document equals star star. Like, is this a valid rule? Okay, sorry. We're gonna ask the AI for this. Is it possible to add a rule that allows allows a user each authenticated user has a related project ID claim. I want to create a rule that allows that namespaces data for a project based on project ID, and any user with a claim for that project, based on project, for fuck's sake, how am I gonna even explain this? So each authenticated user has a related project ID claim that combines the project ID claim with the user ID to give access to any collection within the project that to give access to any document in the collection that how does that work? Like, how do you even create a rule for to give access to any collection that ends with the user ID, something like that. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Collection, match collection. Yeah, so I could like add data here. Collection document allow if request auth is not equal to null and request auth token is on, and collection matches. Okay, that's a weird rule. Oh, so you can like Oh, and this is probably, oh, interesting. So you can name a collection. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually match on the name of the collection. So you can have like, you know what? I need food. I'm kind of exhausted by this. My brain isn't working. But we're gonna play more with this. But we just need some rules that are generic enough to be able to implement something. And what we can even do is like we can put the rule set in the instructions of the agent so that it understands how to set up collections. And we can do the same for, yeah. That's interesting. We can do that. I just wanted to do one agent call. Well, let's just discard it. Match. I think this one better reflects document. So these are projects, and these will be. Yeah, maybe this should rather be like projects. Project ID. And then whatever documents you have underneath. So this is the collection, right? But is this the document? Or would it mean like a nested thing? So let's try again. So inside projects, project ID. Okay, let's drop this one. So inside projects, project ID, I want to allow adding any collections and documents freely. And related documents freely. They need to be protected though. So the user will have a project ID claim, which will allow it to access the specific collections and documents of the given project. But the user should only be able to access a collection where which is named the same as the user's UID, or a document in that collection. Yeah. So we're gonna have owner or a document in that collection that has that matches its owner UID or consumer UID. Oh, we don't even need to do that. Ooh. or a document in that collection has a field called like just access control, or a document in that collection has a field called access control, as a field called access control, which is an array of UIDs, and the user UID is in the array. Okay, I'm just gonna try that first. Interesting. So match collection ID, document ID. Oh yeah, so this is matching here. Yeah, collection ID. But does this match also any nested collection or document? Either the video or the access document has an access control. But the collection ID that matches the user UID might also be nested. Can we handle that? Helper function, can you do that? Like, we're gonna do something amazing here. We are gonna ask the agent to create a feature that actually persists data. Like, the user authenticates and persists data. You can't do that, right? Can you write JavaScript helper functions in Firestore rules? Okay. Oh my god, this is complicated. User is authenticated. The user has a correct project ID claim. Either any collection name in the path matches the user's UID, or the access document has an access control array that contains the user's UID. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Let's see if we can even deploy it. Firebase deploy only. Explain how can I deploy just the new rules of Firestore? Okay, only Firestore rules. I wonder if it's valid. Yeah. Invalid function name format. Format? Yeah. This should resolve errors. Yeah. Right. Oh, actually, no. Invalid function to text. Why does it do to text? Why doesn't it just use path? Interesting how it. Wow, this is complicated stuff. Yeah, at least it compiled now. And on nest. But I don't understand. Why can't I just have nested doc? Oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna stop the stream. I need some food. And I'm gonna jump on again, and we're gonna see if we can figure out how to build these rules. And then we're gonna give the agent these rules as instructions, and then see what it can do with it. Okay, bye.